All right, what's up, my task down 2488 Neo Hippies? I'm Paige Anderson, and today I'm here with a new video. This one's gonna be about Maschine Plus and Maschine MK3. Now, as you know, your man has the Maschine MK3, got that for a Christmas gift from my wife, and I also have the Maschine Plus, which I bought myself because I wanted the hardware experience with the machine where I could actually use the product the way that I'm used to using products. I'm used to turning something on and getting into the sequencer and making it work. I love the sequencer for the Maschine Plus and Maschine MK3, of course, for Maschine. But I've come to a conclusion here that I'm going to go ahead and sell the Maschine Plus because with the MK3, I'm hooked up to my computer, right? It's a controller. I have no other thought about it. It's a controller that's hooked up to my computer, and it has all of what Native Instruments had to offer up to Complete 12. I have access to an unlimited amount of sounds, an unlimited amount of drums and drum packs and whatnot. And I may even upgrade to Complete 14 so that I can share in some of that new, Guitar Rig 6 and all of those new bass things that they have in there, because your man's getting a little tired of playing the instruments, and I want to go back to getting songs done fast. Even though I know the learning curve is going to be a little bit much for me at first, I could spend 2 months learning how to do something so that I could spend the rest of my, year just messing with it and making things happen faster. Now, you may say, well, hold on, man. You can connect your Maschine Plus to your computer and do the same thing. Yes, I can. But the only side part to that is I didn't buy the Maschine Plus to be a $1,000 controller. I bought the Maschine Plus so that I could use it independently from the computer. The only thing is it isn't designed in such a way that all of what Complete had to offer could be inside of it, or at least half of what Complete could offer could be inside of it so that I can just use it right there. I would say this, keeping it real, because the Maschine Plus ain't nothing to sneeze at. I still love it. I mean, I'm keeping my MK3 because it's kind of the same instrument. I would say this, if Native Instrument was looking to up the game with the machine, right now, they should do a studio. You remember the studio? They should do a Maschine studio and have it so that at least 60% of what we could do in the computer with the Complete package could be done in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like the Maschine studio could be double the size of memory and double the size of RAM. And you're going to have to take back some of the nuances of the sound so that we can get that much stuff into a hardware standalone device. But if they did like a new thing with the Maschine Studio Plus and had all that, Native Instruments could offer as far as their sound packages and all of that in there, sort of like the MPC XSE, you know what I'm saying? Just shove the whole kitchen sink in that bad boy. I think that would sell, and it would be worth $2,400 to keeping it real, because I think that's what the MPC is selling for. In Machine's case, since the first one wasn't as strong as the new one would possibly be, I would sell that one at 20, maybe 18, put it right at the price that the old one was, so that people jump in and get on it and be like, we already have a connection to those Native Instruments sounds. So that would be a big win for Native Instruments as far as on the hardware side of things. But as for me right now, I'm only getting rid of it because I have access to so much that Native Instruments has to offer that it's limiting to have the Plus there when I know I can just hook the MK3 up to my computer and just let her rip. I have access to everything. And because of like that video where I did the verses, I've learned a few things. I've taken the buffer size down a little bit, and I can get a little bit more things done with it. With the MK3, I, was like, okay, well, it's greedy to have them both, especially when I'm only using the MK3 now. And the MK3 is fabulous. It's connected to software. I've got my studio down to not very few, but to a few items that I know work for me. And I just looked over and it's like, that's not the only thing I'm selling. There's a lot of things I'm selling because I realized over the past 4 years since the pandemic, I became a storage. I became a storage of equipment that is fabulous, but I have no use for at the moment because I've found a way of working. And having just a lot of gear around me just doesn't work anymore for me. If you notice behind me, I got this MPC Key 61. I use that a lot along with my MK3, along with my MPC Live, for which I'm going to be in Atlanta at the end of the month. And I'll be, taking the Live with me so that I can keep the party rolling. I can work with that. And then I have this at home where anything that I worked on, I can just bring it over here and keep the party rolling. And with the whole thing with my wife buying me a MacBook, it's like I have a lot of things to work with, and it causes me to look around and say, you gotta let go of some stuff because things are just, in boxes I used to have things out, but now I put them all back in boxes and wipe them down and stuff because it makes no sense to have all of that stuff out and you're not using it. I used to do a thing on Sunday where I'd make a song and use the sound out of every piece of gear that I had, and it no longer floats the boat for me. I realized that I need to get rid of some stuff. But the first thing that I'm getting rid of is my Maschine Plus because somebody else will be able to love it. The way that I say the Maschine Plus benefited me initially was I was able to get into the ecosystem of Native Instruments, learn the sequence very well, build up the muscle memory so that I could use the thing in such a way that if I'm just coming over here to make a drum beat, I can just do that, get that drum beat and put it into my Tascam at the time, because I'm also getting rid of that. Put in my Tascam at the time and then finish up my song. Well, now that I've learned how to use the sequencer and I realize I want more of Native Instruments in my songs, it makes no sense for me to have a hardware device that I got to hook up to the computer to actually experience the whole Native Instruments idea. I could just use my MK3 and do the same thing, because ultimately, if I'm going to be in the computer, might as well use the thing that's, that's designed to get me in the computer and get me working. But, yeah, man, I'm letting go of a lot of things. And the first thing that I'm letting go of is my Maschine Plus. I love it, but I realize that it's better to sell it and let somebody else love it. Somebody else can love it a little bit more. And the thing about it is, because I was also using that verse lab so much, it's not an old piece of gear. It still looks new. It still works like a charm and everything. And I'm happy and grateful that I had it, but I also realized that it would benefit somebody else who's gonna use it a little bit more than I'm using it. But outside of that, I love Native Instruments. I have always loved Native Instruments. I now have a better understanding of how Native Instruments, MK3 or the Plus works. Understand the sequencer better. I understand navigation of the equipment better, and I can use it better at this point. But if you guys have anything to say about your Maschine Plus or your MK3, or if you have them both like I did, go ahead and leave that in the comments, because your man is interested in how y'all feel about having both, or having either one. So thank you so much for watching my video. You have a good day and goodbye.